It's time to take another look at the Golden Justice, and this time I'm going to be bringing it all together and using the Golden Justice in a bit more of a proper method. So I'm going to be choosing Muddy Puddles because Golden Justice is just really good on Muddy Puddles. There's great straight lines that can be put in the back of the track so it gets a lot of attack speed. And you want it to be away in the back of the track so it doesn't start shooting its pistol, which is really annoying because the pistol doesn't do much of anything except for make it so the rifle doesn't shoot. And yeah, you want the rifle to be shooting. It does a lot of damage. It has infinite pierce, which is really cool, and you just need to get a bunch of straight line shots, and for its consistency to be good, maybe ramp up the attack speed a little bit, and it goes pretty hard. Now for this early game, this is just around 21 airbursts though, but because I'm going into Dartling Gunner, there's more efficient early games that you could use, so I guess that's something, but I was too lazy to figure out how to do that again. I've kind of forgotten how to do like the best Dartling Gunner early game, so oh well, I guess I'm just at that point. I'm forgetting everything already, but I go for that. I outbuff that Dartling Gunner, and then that's gonna move straight into the tier 3, which is actually like really good for early game. The laser cannon, like it can do a lot of damage, a lot more damage than people would think. I don't think it's necessarily the greatest spamming though. Maybe if you get CTA, that could be an idea again for the future, a laser cannon spam video. I think I did one way back in the day. That was a long time ago though. But with this, I'm just going to be able to get drums, and I'm going to be going for the plasma accelerator. That's just going to do the mid game just fine. It's also going to be good against some ZOMGs. Well, in general, plasma accelerator is just great with Psy because you can really like get some insane Psy scream explosions and all of that. So I'm just going to be microing this guy around, and he's going to be able to beat all of the mid game. This is kind of the part of Muddy I don't like. It's just this really boring mid game where you have to move something here, there, everywhere the entire time. I'm going to start developing the Desperado though now. The now Bounty Hunter, soon to be Golden Justice, is going to take the Alk away from the Dartling Gunner, which is completely fine. So he's just going to be chilling there, and he's going to do some good damage in the meantime. It was nice at least to have it, and I feel like the damage is alright. Not the craziest thing in the mid game though, but luckily because I started saving up so early with just one plasma accelerator, and I'm shifting over the Alk buff so I don't need to buy another Alk buff, then I'm just really going to be able to get this Golden Justice super early, even though it's a pretty expensive tower. It's definitely great to be able to get like some of these expensive save ups like really early on. The extra effort in the early and mid game is definitely worth it when you don't have to pain your way through like 81, 82, like let alone it even get to 85 with just your mid game defense trying to struggle to get your expensive tower. So it's good that I'm able to get that. It saves a lot of pain if you can just sneak it out right before round 80, even if it's really expensive. Sometimes that can be difficult though. But I grabbed that Golden Justice, and his range kind of sucks. When I use the ability though, he'll be able to shoot all around, but I wasn't really sure where I was going to go from this point actually when I was doing the run, which is a bit interesting, but I wasn't like, this is only the second time I've used this tower. Well, I guess third time if you count that really easy Peninsula Axis run. That one doesn't really count though. But I wasn't really exactly sure where to take this, and I ended up taking a different route, which was really good. I'm going for a Chinook. So I'm going to be able to Chinook the tower around so I can get better straight lines, and it's also useful for some other things too. Plus its blowback is really strong. They did buff the heli recently, so now it can take Alk buff, but from what I noticed, it is not really good. It's very expensive and doesn't really give much of any benefit. If it like doubled the amount of downdraft it could do, that would be kind of crazy, but in the meantime we're just going to have Chinook. So I'm going to grab that in a little bit. I'm also going to grab that Moab glue, and he's going to be riding along. It's been some time, so I'm going to take a quick break, put some music on, and I'll come back for the late game when there's more to talk about there. So going into the 90s here, this is where Psy will definitely pick up a little bit. Sometimes when doing Psy runs, you could have a lot of like really hard rounds in 89, 88, 87, because you don't have the ability for Psy to take out the PFBs yet. But now that we can do that, and I can move the Desperado to some good placements, and I can use the Plasma Accelerator to kind of pop some things down here and there, we can just get some great screams. This round 94 though is actually a little bit more difficult than I expected. A lot of times 94 and Muddy can just be really hard if you have like out of place towers, because the big rounds don't come out of there. Well, I mean, just that one. It's same with 91, like lane 1 always has the easiest of waves. For example, 97 comes there, so sometimes 79 and 91 can catch you off guard, because even though they're easy rounds, you don't really plan for anything to be there. Luckily, Chinook will kind of just negate that a little bit. But for 96 and 98, that was definitely a struggle. I had the worst time on 96 actually. That was the hardest round in this run. There was just a lot coming out. I didn't have abilities for everything, and I was able to take out 98 a lot easier, because with Plasma Accelerator, I could completely just nuke the entire thing with one scream. Just get all the balloons out, scream it all. But 96, because I'm really reliant on like a constant slew of abilities, it just dragged out too long, and it took a lot of RNG and all to take it down. 97 here, I just have Psy really take out all these BFBs, and then Desperado will kind of clean up the rest. That was no problem. I just need to get all my abilities up. And then 98, I was, again, because 96 took so long, I was scared this one was going to be hard, but nah, it was actually pretty easy. Desperado just takes all of that out, and then bam, scream, and all of that's just done. It was really, really nice. And you'll notice I'm getting a good amount of cash spare. This will get a pretty penny left over. We just stun to take the rest of that out, and I also have to stall a bit to get the Sabo back. Luckily we get that. You can't really stall like a crazy amount with Psy, but you can do some things just to make it last a little bit longer, like having some Moabs and ceramics left like out of range of stuff. 99 luckily went down without a problem, and this is the great thing, the top path Desperado does an insane amount of damage against round 100, so I'm going to be able to take it out. Then I use that Psy stun at the bottom to be able to slow down those DDTs. I can Sabo right there, and it all just goes down. And overall, this was a super satisfying run. Even though the 96 did make me go insane more than a few times, it was definitely a very, very satisfying run, and the straight line action, especially with being able to move it around with the Chinook, was just awesome. Overall, this tower is alright, I'd say. It just performed really well here because it's a super niche map where it's insanely good. Its big issue is it's very map based. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!